Thank you. Thank you. Please sit. That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Brooke. Gosh, what, how can you beat that? Walking out being, to that kind of an announcement, that's pretty hard to live up to. But I have to tell you that Brooke Rollins, the president and CEO of AFPI, I don't have to tell you what a wonderful job she's doing. You can see it just when she walks out here and talks to you. That lady's rocking. Thank you again so very, very much. I'll repeat what Brooke said in coming today and sharing this with us. It's wonderful to see so many leaders in our movement in one place for an exciting couple of days. I know that everyone is excited to hear from so many incredible and accomplished individuals, conservative leaders such as Speaker Newt Gingrich, Leader McCarthy, dozens of governors and members of Congress, and of course our country's 45th President, Donald J. Trump, who will join us tomorrow. But let me give you, yes, that deserves, I think we're all looking forward to that. Let me give you a little bit of the background of America First Policy Institute and the inspiration, for this event. You heard Brooke talk a little bit about talking to me and Larry Kudlow and others about stepping in and forming this America First Policy Institute. So Brooke and Larry and I discussed the future of the America First movement. And in these conversations, America First Policy Institute was born. We agreed that the central focus of AFPI should be to promote policies that advance the causes and the interests of the American people and put them first. And that's what we're going to do in everything we do, and that's what the prior administration did as well. The wonderful thing was that we kind of had it laid out already because President Trump had campaigned and governed as an American First leader. Just to remind you about some of the things of his administration. Led the building of an unprecedented economic boom and provided tax relief for the middle class. It's often forgotten that the most of those among us who benefited from the tax relief programs were those of lower and middle income. He ended the regulatory assault on America and business and workers. Now, I was the administrator for SBA at the time, and I can tell you that I witnessed that firsthand. He took strong and decisive actions to confront unfair trade practices. He unleashed America's oil and natural gas potential, achieving energy independence, something I think we'd all like to see again. Invested in American families and expanded educational opportunity. He secured our southern border. He appointed an historic number of federal judges. He rebuilt our military while serving and protecting our veterans. He fought for life and stood up for religious liberty. And that's kind of just scratching the surface. I mean, we were there. We saw all the things that were accomplished with that policy. But we knew that the accomplishments of those 4 years were only the beginning. So for the past 18 months, we've been building an organization that continues to put the American people first. Our guiding principles are liberty, free enterprise, national greatness, American military superiority, foreign policy engagement in the American interest, and the primacy of American workers, families, and communities in all we do. And with thanks to the support from great patriots like yourselves, those of you who are sitting here today who have been supporting us, what we have dreamed of is now a reality. And AFPI has already had many remarkable accomplishments. In spite of just being a year old, you heard Brooke speak about some of them. We launched a school effort on patriotic education to drive transparency on curricula and accountability with our local school leaders. We created the Save America Coalition, where we partnered with more than 65 conservative organizations to educate Americans on the egregious policies that the Biden administration's Build Back Better policy was all about. We've taken the fight for election integrity to the states, where we've been leaders in the movement for honest elections in states like Arizona, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, and have had several victories there over the last few weeks. We were leaders in the legal fight against the Biden's regime's unconstitutional vaccine mandate from OSHA, and the successful defense of Coach Kennedy, whose First Amendment rights have been stripped of him through terminating him from kneeling and praying on the field just on his own after the games. Most importantly, we have built a home, and this is important. We have built a home for the America First movement, with over 150 talented and accomplished individuals on our team. And we built that team in just a little over a year. We've built over 20 policy centers chaired by former cabinet secretaries. You heard Brooke go through the list, governors, members of Congress, professional athletes, and more. Each of these centers is dedicated to specific ways we can put the America people first. And that's what leads us to where we are today. We wanted these 2 days to showcase America's first policies with our great country's best and brightest minds. We want these experts to educate the nation on ways to restore American greatness, making America energy independent. Let's do these things all over again. We want to fight government corruption. We want to make it easy to vote, but hard to cheat. We want to give parents more control over their children's education. And we want to, and we must, and we have to secure our border and protect our homeland. And yes, that deserves an applause. And making the economy work for all Americans again. And of course, we are thrilled and honored to welcome President Trump back tomorrow afternoon, as he will be returning to Washington for the first time since he left office. So we're very proud to be able to do that. But we know that AFPI's work so far, including this exciting event today, is only the beginning. If a year and a half ago, the Biden administration certainly has shown us what they have going to accomplish, and that's been very little. We have so much work left to do to fix our country. And I now have the privilege of introducing someone who knows a little bit about fixing a country, Speaker Newt Gingrich. Speaker Gingrich first became a household name when he led the Republicans to victory in the House of Representatives for the first time in 40 years with his contract with America. But he didn't just write the contract with America. He ensured that Congress kept its promise to the American people, from welfare reform to balancing the federal budget, and he did it with a Democratic president. The legislation he championed served to better Americans' lives for generations to come. And at the core of each of his actions, he underscored that the American people must be put first always. And that's exactly what we do each day at the America First Policy Institute. And that is why we are honored to have Speaker Newt Gingrich on our board. And with that, please join me in welcoming Speaker Newt Gingrich.